What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Star Wars edition of the Ragin Nation show. This is just a web series where we're talking about all things that matter to me in the world of Star Wars films. This is episode number 20, and in a couple of hours, 6 hours to be exact, I will be watching Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I am crazy excited, and what I want to do for you guys before I watch Star Wars Episode 7 is give you my box office prediction. I love doing box office predictions. I think box office statistics are very interesting. And I find it very fun to make predictions, especially for these big event films. Films that we've been highly anticipating, because it's just interesting to know, will these films, well, this film to be specific, sink Titanic? That is the #1 question. Will it sink Titanic? Well, what I'm gonna give for you guys today is three predictions, and that is how much it'll make on the opening weekend, how much it'll make domestically, and that's in Canada and America, well, North America, and how much it'll make worldwide at the end of its by the end of its theatrical run. All right. So before I tell you all this, I'll let you guys know that Star Wars: The Force Awakens has already broken a record in amount of advance tickets sold, and that is $100 million in advance tickets estimated. Okay, so these are pre-sold tickets before the movie even comes out. Another thing is that Star Wars: The Force Awakens has the second most highest amount of screens showing the film. Okay, the movie with the most amount of screens showing was Twilight Eclipse with 4,468 screens across North America. And for Star Wars: The Force Awakens, it has the second most screens showing, and that is 4,134. Okay. Another thing is that this film is opening in December. The most amount of money that a film made in a December on its opening weekend has a title held by The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey, which has an opening weekend of $85 million in its 3-day weekend, including midnight release. So that tells you something. It tells you that, you know, December really isn't the summer. If it was summertime, people would be flocking to watch these movies, and putting this as their higher priority to watch these films in December. But December is the busy holiday season. People are out of town. People are doing like family gatherings and family dinners. People are out shopping. They just don't have time to watch movies. But this is a different type of movie. We're talking about Star Wars: The Force Awakens. It has been a very long time since a good Star Wars film came out. I'm talking about the original trilogy. Phantom Menace, when it came out, I mean, that was 1999. Huge hype, but keep in mind, ticket prices were much lower back then. I'm paying $20 to watch it in IMAX 3D. I paid, I think, $12 to watch it to watch Phantom Menace in standard theater. Okay, and that was 16 years ago. So ticket prices have increased. We're watching it in 3D. There's premium format screens like IMAX. So that's going to add to the cost. So because of that, I predict that on its opening weekend, it will do very good. Okay? It will do better than Jurassic World, which opened at $209 million in 3 days. All right? Jurassic World is the current holder for the biggest opening for a film in its 3-day weekend. Okay? If you look in this top 10 list, you'll notice that a lot of these films are summer films. Star Wars: The Force Awakens comes out in December, but my prediction for its 3-day weekend opening is exactly $238 million. It will make $238 million in 3 days, including Thursday, okay, which is today, all right? So essentially it's a 4-day weekend. Now keep in mind this, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, even though it is opening in less screens than Twilight Eclipse, is still showing 24 hours a day. So even though it has less screens, it has way more show times. People want to watch it. There's a huge demand for it. So that's why I believe that its opening weekend will be $238 million. Now, no huge film has ever opened in December like this. Okay, a lot of the films that opened in December just never have seen that kind of a box office result. Like I said, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, didn't even break $100 million. And I'm predicting that Star Wars The Force Awakens will break $200 million, okay? And that's a pretty tall order, but I believe it will happen just because of the fact that people have been waiting for a very, very long time. And another thing is that this is actually going to be a very, very good Star Wars film. As you can see, the Rotten Tomatoes score is already 95%. Okay, so $238 million for my box office prediction for the 4-day opening weekend. All right, so that's 3 days plus the Thursday night showings. Followed by, let's find out what it's going to make domestically. Now, domestically, James Cameron takes over. James Cameron has Avatar at #1 at $760 million, Titanic at $658 million, and Jurassic World, directed by Colin Trevorrow, had it at $652 million. It didn't even sink Titanic, okay? The dinosaurs weren't even able to take a chomp out of Titanic, okay? So what is it going to be for Star Wars The Force Awakens? Well, my prediction is that it will sink Titanic, but it won't beat Avatar. I believe that my prediction is that Star Wars The Force Awakens will make domestically, by the end of its theatrical run, $691 million. Okay, that's my prediction, all right? So the last prediction that I want to make is for global, worldwide. This includes domestic, North America, plus the rest of the world, okay? So once again, James Cameron dominates the first two spots. Avatar at $2.8 billion, Titanic at $2.2 billion, and then followed by Colin Trevorrow's Jurassic World at $1.7 billion, okay? What's interesting is that Jurassic World came out in 2015, and in the fifth spot, Fury 7 came out also in 2015, which is at $1.5 billion. I think that The Force Awakens is going to be on that list. It'll be the third film, or rather the fourth film, because there's also Avengers Age of Ultron, that'll break $1 billion worldwide. Well, that's if you don't include Minions, which is at #10. But anyways, my worldwide box office prediction for Star Wars The Force Awakens by the end of its theatrical run is $1.952 billion. So therefore, I don't think that it'll beat Titanic and Avatar worldwide. I just don't. Something about Titanic was a very emotional story. It was the first movie of its kind. It's like the epic disaster romance film. And, you know, people went to watch it again and again and again and again. And it stayed in the theaters for like 8 to 10 months. It had a huge, long, prolonged theatrical run. Same thing with Avatar. It opened small. It opened with less than $100 million, but it stayed in the theaters for such a long time, and because of that, people went to watch it again and again and again. They wanted to experience Pandora again and again and again and again. And Avatar and Titanic and Jurassic World are films that are for general audiences. It has a very universal appeal. You don't have to be a fan of these three movies to really enjoy them. As for Star Wars, there is that fan following. Of course, you got premium ticket prices. That'll make the box office much larger. But still, at the end of the day, it is a Star Wars movie, and it appeals to a wide audience, but it also mostly and mainly appeals to the fans. A lot of the kids that watched Star Wars back in the 80s are now adults, and they're also adults with kids, and they want their kids to experience Star Wars on the big screen, and of course they're going to take them to watch Star Wars The Force Awakens, so of course that'll add to the box office. But still, Star Wars, as great as it is, it still doesn't have the universal appeal that Avatar and Titanic have, alright? I mean, when you really think about it, you don't have to be a fan of Avatar. You don't have to be a fan of Titanic to enjoy these films. But for Star Wars, there are a lot of elements in there that you might not get because you didn't watch the previous 6 films, or 3 films for that matter. So that's why I feel that it won't be able to beat Titanic worldwide. and it won't be able to beat Avatar, of course, but it will beat Jurassic World because it is a much bigger film than Jurassic World. So, once again, I'm going to give you my predictions. So, opening weekend, 3-day plus Thursday night showing, $238 million. Domestically, that's North America, $691 million. And finally, worldwide, it'll end at $1.952 billion. Alright? What are your predictions? Let me know in the comments section below. And there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video. Stay tuned for my 100% spoiler-free review coming out as the next video. And followed by that, after I watched it a second time, I will give you my spoiler-filled talkback discussion video. Alright? Anyways, as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RaginNation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Dialogue. I'm talking about some of the worst dialogue I've ever seen, I've ever heard, okay? Also some very terrible editing there. Anyways, it's just full of a lot of